We continue to salute all the healthcare professionals and frontline workers in fighting this global pandemic of coronavirus. But I speak from home, away from home, in the T dot, Toronto, Canada, Ontario to be specific. But let me line up my blackface Prime Minister brother from another mother. Prime Minister Trudeau is able. Vice Prime Minister Christopher Friedland and my NDP brother from another mother, Jagmeet Singh, for pursuing under the most circumstantial, inconvenient circumstances for common sense to continue to prevail. Lest those who think balancing the book should be prioritized over the globalization of tokens that comes into the ventilated pockets of the mentally stressed majority of our brothers and sisters who are either Canadians or permanent resident. And Trudeau and Madam Western Friedland, let's expedite our host, the living condition of the indigenous people, and please make housing an emergency federal agenda, not a developer's issue. I think the federal government should use the military to get into house construction, affordable, dignified, mixed income, not these crime-confused, outdated, so-called government housing scheme. But let's come to what is at stake. Ontario is still high on even military aid. Medically, it's being called upon to Ontario. Other provinces have been called to help with nurses. But the open secret is that, especially in Ontario, but I think it's all over Canada, foreign trained health professionals are languishing in Canada. From nurses to doctors, all because of these health organizational politics. Imagine a nurse practitioner from any of your so-called purported third world nations or non-European nations who've been a nurse working tirelessly or a doctor, and then they come here, they become nothing but personal support workers or taxi drivers or Uber drivers. Not that two positions are bad, because under Corona we realized that things that we are looked low upon have become the megabytes of dollars. Because hey, money talks and money makes the world go around, and bullshit just bullshit rants. So what am I trying to say? Why not recognize those health professionals' qualification? All it takes, the human autonomy. A buttocks is a buttocks. An eye is an eye. A nose is a nose. Ears is an eye. And then the bottom head of a man is the bottom head of a man. Abi. It's simple biology. It's not sex. Everything is sexualized, but it's biology. When you and I were growing up, what a school we were taught biology, the human production, crop pollination. Yes. It was trendily incomposed with no religious war. Because when the biology teacher is teaching about biology, the human production, then you talk about the mitigation of the male and female and how the projection happens. It was biology. That did not make us go out there and start flinging our balls all over. Halal. This is Ramadan. But it's biology, it's conversational. But yes, if these so-called health professional organizations can be just dismantled and take away those diachrona old colonial discriminatory profiling on foreign professionals. Yes, I do know there are a lot of cook-up certificates that people come from. But when somebody says they are this, they can't even give injection to a pigeon, that question. But these days with technology, verification of qualifications are easy. Tap into the untold numbers of health professionals languishing in Ontario. Give them their credentials. Give them a special crash courses. And what is missing is apprenticeship. For goodness sake, when a foreign health professional practitioner comes into a country, or like a province like Ontario, the least that is required to tap into their years of work experience is to offer them apprenticeship, paid apprenticeship, not volunteering. If you take an emergency health doctor or emergency doctor from, say, Timbuktu, a nurse from Zakalutu, with years of experience, bring them and have them work in St. Mike's or whatever as an apprentice. It takes about 6 months to overstand. Have them, of course, understand the laws of the land, because that's the only difference. Because human autonomy is human anatomy. Your tongue is your tongue, your mouth is your mouth. So, Doug Ford, maybe this is what you should expedite rather than tapping into the reserve green belt, pretentiously making as if you want to provide housing but giving it to developers. There are better things. Prioritize your moment. Instead of making learning visual. How can we? We're getting too confused. Yes,